Listening, I believe, is the missing half of communication. Absolutely necessary, but often overlooked. We live in an age we call the age of communication. And certainly with a lot of cell phones and texts and tweets and emails, there's a lot of talking going on. But how much listening can there really be? And I hear a lot of talking, but I don't hear a lot of real listening. We think of negotiation as being about talking. But in fact, it's really about listening. If you study the behavior of successful negotiators, you find that they listen far more than they talk. After all, we're given 2 ears and 1 mouth for a reason, to listen twice as much, at least, as we speak. So why listen? It costs us nothing, and it brings huge benefits. Listening may be the golden key that opens the door to human relationship. So how do we listen? Well, it turns out that we often take listening for granted as something easy and natural. But in fact, at least in my experience, real listening, genuine listening, is something that needs to be learned and practiced every day. In ordinary listening, we're hearing the words and we're often thinking, where do I agree? Where do I disagree? What am I going to say in response? In other words, the focus is on us. In genuine listening, however, the spotlight moves to the other person. We put ourselves in their shoes. We tune into their wavelength. We listen from within their frame of reference, not just ours. And that's not easy. In genuine listening, we listen not just for what's being said, but for what's not being said. We listen not just to the words, but to what's behind the words. We listen for the underlying emotions and feelings, the underlying needs, what that person really needs or wants. Listening can be contagious because listening can be a chain reaction in which each person who is genuinely listened to feels naturally inspired to listen to the next. In your next conversation with a colleague or a client, a partner or a child, a friend or a stranger, give them your full attention and listen to the human being behind the words. Because one of the biggest gifts we can give anyone is the gift of being heard.